Yeah, it's all about Bolivia today, apparently. So I just saw this ebook reader project on Hackaday, and it's a prize entry. They're having They have a competition every year, I think. And the last present I gave my daughter, I ordered from Bolivia. This must have been in must have been in 2011. It was the last time I was in La Paz. I bought her a Kindle. I just ordered it from Amazon. I had it sent to her address. At the time, I thought Kindles would be able to read PDF. I don't know whether they can still, or whether they could then, or what. But this video is extraordinary. That it seems to indicate that Amazon really were censoring what people can read on these Kindles. They took off George Orwell books. It was a story that this. I haven't Googled it, but I should Google it, shouldn't I? Amazon. It was 1984. NPR story. So it wasn't. It was just for a. Got to do this contract with every single web page. Every single one. What on earth does that mean? Stupid, thoughtless, and painfully out of line. To be really useful, you want to leave that connection on. An unanticipated feature of that, though, is that you have Amazon or the vendor that runs the device to be able to reach into the device and make changes to the way it works. After it learned that it was selling Orwell's novel to Kindle owners, though it had no right to do so. So it was just a copyright issue. But it was proof in principle that they can do that. But kind of more worrying anyway is when you go to electronic distribution of anything, that if you don't have a full audit trail. I'm sorry, I keep my hand seems to want to show pictures of my ear, not my face. I wrote about that in it must have been after I bought her the Kindle. Perhaps I started thinking about it. I said something about the libraries are emptying themselves. But it's worse than that. You cannot get things from the local library. I can't get a copy of, well, just about any book I ask them for. If it's not in part of the little group of local libraries of this part of North London, they can't get it. There's no more interlibrary loan. There's no digital gateway, or it's all fractioned and partitioned into corporate domains, and then the local government seems to be fractured and partitioned into regions as well. I don't know if I want to listen to this. Well, it was just an NPR story. Why not?
The founder and CEO of Amazon.com, Jeff Bezos, says he's sorry. In an online post yesterday afternoon, Bezos wrote this: "This is an apology for the way we previously handled illegally sold copies of 1984 and other novels on Kindle. Our solution to the problem was stupid, thoughtless, and painfully out of line with our principles. It is wholly self-inflicted, and we deserve the criticism we've received. We will use the scar tissue from this painful mistake to help make better decisions going forward, ones that match our mission."
Well, I don't know what his mission is.
The Open Book is an open hardware ebook reader designed around the ESP32S3 and a low-cost e-paper screen.
Can't actually see.
Capable of displaying books in all the languages of the world. Designed to be affordable, accessible, and DIY friendly, it aims to demystify the inner workings of consumer technology and reclaim this essential technological artifact as a piece of fully open source hardware. The physical book is one of the greatest technologies of all time, and yet adding electronics to books hasn't worked out so well for readers. The most popular and widespread devices we have for reading operate as small moving parts in a system of giant closed platforms owned by corporations whose incentives don't align with those of readers or of authors. DRM encumbers ebooks, creating barriers to reading and uncertainty about longevity. And complex systems of surveillance aim to track every tap, letting platform owners muscle their way into the relationship between author and reader. The truth is, an ebook reader doesn't need to be complicated. If the goal is simply to read books, we can make an ebook reader.
He's done this thing, and it's great. You have a look at the web page. It's an open design. He's published everything right down to the files for 3D printing the case and the software, I guess, and everything else. And it's great. The only issue I had, the thing I didn't understand about this was that it was his choice of format. Although his own schematic is published as a PDF. These are SCAD files, CSV files, STL file, various formats. He chose a straight plain text format, and his emphasis is probably right. It was to get every book of classical, at least classical literature, in print in any language in the world, and that's a damn good start. But I just wondered about math books. So, and I mean, even Euclid's Elements. If you want to do a decent edition of Euclid's Elements, you do want some diagrams in there. Like Fitzpatrick's edition, Greek and English, of Euclid's Elements is absolutely wonderful. But you need something like PDF or some kind of format that can do a good job of text and graphics. Although the graphics in Fitzpatrick's thing aren't absolutely perfect, but they're very, very good. There we go, progress. But I don't know that we need ebooks. I mean, an ebook, any tablet from however old. I mean, how long have people been making tablets? Over a decade. All those tablets out there. We need a piece of software that we can build onto those tablets that will do this job. It won't be as smooth, it won't be as lightweight, it won't have the ergonomics of this little ebook reader, but you need to be able to reuse these devices. There's no reason. The hardware bloat is just because we don't know how to program computers. We're not doing the programming right. We cannot program a device. There's no reason why this 4 gigabytes of RAM in this machine, why this machine can't do what it could do when it was made in 2009 when I went to Bolivia. That's how old this machine is. And it's all that memory is taken up now by Microsoft and Linux. And there's tons and tons of code running on this machine that just doesn't need to be there. So a lot of it I've downloaded, but that's because of the way the whole system works. You download these ginormous packages full of stuff that you're never going to use. The C compiler, I don't know how many gigabytes that is now. It's just because you get all of the compilers, all the GNU compilers. It's just mental. It's just because it's easier to expect people to buy new hardware, expect people to go out and buy a new laptop, not use one from 2009, or heaven help you if you try and use one from 2003. That is so wrong.